What's going on, guys? It's your boy Echo, and today I have a very interesting topic for you guys following BlizzConline. This is the first time that I'm letting all of you know this, but I was able to have a one-on-one interview with two people, Julian and Wyatt, from the development team of Diablo Immortal. Inside of this interview, I took community questions from you guys that I asked in my Discord server, as well as some questions that I had myself, and asked them all of these questions over a half-hour time. I've gotten about 10 different topics that I'm going to be breaking down from these interviews in 10 separate videos across the channel. Some of the information that we had here inside of these interviews was not mentioned at the BlizzCon official announcement, so you could be getting some information here that you may have not heard before. But today, inside of this video, we're going to be talking about and actually showing you the interview section, talking about the progression of release of Diablo Immortal. And although we weren't given dates, we were giving some info relating to stages of release and more. So why don't we tune in for 1 second, check out what Wyatt and Julian had to say about this, and then we'll come back and discuss it together. I had the feeling we wouldn't have certain answers concrete today, and that's fine, but I was going to ask them anyway, just in case. Another one of those, and I'm just going to put it out like this. I'm assuming there's no hard dates for alpha, for beta. We were all listening in on the call, talking with the investors, and you guys said that Diablo Immortal would be coming in 2021, or at least something around that line was said. So we're all speculating when we are expecting this game. Is there anything that you are comfortable saying? Again, I'm assuming that you don't want to say any dates, but I'm going to put it out there for you anyway. A timeline when we could expect the beta or the alpha, or not the alpha, or the release. Yeah.
No dates, but I can tell you. So instead of dates, I will talk about what's left to do.
Yes.
So technical alpha was early game and mid game. The level cap was 45. So we have 15 more levels to close the gap to 60, which is the level cap. During that time, you're also going to go through extra zones. So if you remember during Tech Alpha, I think you have a lot of capture footage. You can go back. There is a couple zones that were on the map, but were locked. And that's for level 45 to 50, 50 to 55, and 55 to 60. So we're going to be finishing that. So there'll be a future testing phase where those get incorporated. There'll be a future testing phase with, I mentioned just now, PvP endgame systems and PvE endgame systems, and so we'll want to be testing both of those. And of course, Necromancer and Crusader.
That was my next question. Question.
Yeah. We gotta get testing on those too. So we still have testing phases ahead of us. So no dates, unfortunately. But I think what I'm trying to say is in some ways we actually have more to do still, not to do, I mean, we've been working this whole time, but more to test ahead of us than we do behind.
Okay, that's great. And I understand it. I appreciate you sharing what you can. That's why I'm here. And then the reason is I actually talked to my community and I told them to send me all of their questions, and I kind of combed through, and the ones that we're getting a ton of questions on, those are the ones I'm kind of asking, especially some of mine as well. All right, so what did you guys think? What I love doing is watching their faces after I ask questions. I feel like the facial expressions can sometimes give information away when you look at someone and see how they react to a question that you ask, in this case, that I asked from you guys in the community. So the progression of release is going to be different than we had predicted. Now, did you notice that Wyatt said there's more testing ahead of us than we have behind us? Now, think of it this way. Behind us, we had the closed alpha, the technical alpha, which we just finished, and that was it. That was the testing, at least, that we've all known about. So what do we have going forward? They talked about the two different classes, the Crusader and the Necromancer. It was mentioned sometime during BlizzCon that we should see one of those character classes in the next testing phase. Wyatt also mentioned that there were the different stages from 45 to 50, 50 to 55, 55 to 60 that still need to be tested as well. And I believe he had mentioned, from listening to that interview, 3 more different stages of testing before we even get the release of the game globally. Now, Also in this testing, it's going to be larger. It's not going to be as closed of an alpha as we had the last time. So along with testing out new characters, so let's, for example, say that we're getting the Crusader next. This is just speculation. This is just for an example. They did not tell me this. Let's say we get the Crusader next. Maybe they'll open up the Crusader class, and the audience that's able to play it is a lot broader than we had before. Then maybe we're going to test out the Necromancer class in the following test, and it's going to be even more people. And then maybe we'll be able to, at the next point, be able to test out all the stages up to level 60. Just basically, that would be the game being close to done, maybe even PvP implemented into it as well. And then the release, pending nothing goes wrong. Now, we need to remember the investor call. Blizzard did guarantee, they did say to their investors, to the public, that Diablo Immortal would release in 2021. My previous guess was that we would be having the game full release in August. Now, I guess what we need to think of is the technical alpha ended, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago at this point in time, which is 2 months. If we have another testing phase coming, even in a few weeks, if we figure there's a 2-month break in between each testing time, and each testing time lasts for approximately a month, that would be 3 months of testing time, 6 months of time in between. That's 9 months, which is going to take us all the way to December for a global release. Now, testing can be much different than that. Maybe the testing is never going to close as it closed this time. That was a question I did not get to answer or did get to ask, unfortunately, although I would love to know the answer to that, because listen, we grinded for 80 to 100 hours on these classes. The technical alpha went away and we lost all of our progress. It stinks when that happens, but I am definitely not going to give up the opportunity to play the heck out of that game when it's in my hands. Streaming it as well, keep that in mind. So I didn't get a chance to ask all those questions. Remember, we only had 30 minutes and I had literally a whole list of questions I wanted to get through. And like I said, every single part of this interview, I'm going to clean it up, make it into more digestible units, and bring it to you guys as we're doing this today. So I want you guys to let me know what you think of this. Did you enjoy getting to see me ask these questions to Wyatt and Julian and have their actual responses? Or did that not have any value to you? I personally have huge value and hold huge value in being able to see the responses and see the reactions to the different questions. Now, in the next video, the video that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow for you guys, we are going to be talking about PvP. I have been the largest advocate for PvP inside of Diablo Immortal. I was literally fighting internally with myself, debating which part of the interview I would bring to you guys first. I chose on the release date one, which one is the one you're watching right now, but tomorrow we'll be putting out a video on the plans for player versus player gameplay inside of Diablo Immortal. Make sure you don't miss that video. And to be honest with you, for the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a part of this interview that you are not going to want to miss because you cannot see it anywhere else. The information was not told to anyone but me. So that's a pretty amazing position to be in. Mind you, we do have the Immortal podcast where Nemo and I team up and talk about the things that happened at BlizzCon. We will be talking about some of that stuff as well. And if you tuned in yesterday when we had that episode, well, then you may have seen some. But if not, we got it coming. Make sure you keep it locked here on the channel. Also, by the way, you're noticing the Echo gear here. The Echo gear is the first time wearing this shirt. It's looking fresh. If you guys want to get any gear of your own, you could find the link to that in the description of this video. As always, I appreciate any support you guys have for me. Thank you guys for keeping it locked until the end of the video. As a community, you guys are amazing. And I'll remind you to come through my Discord community where I'm literally watching it right now. And it is just chat going. Everyone's always talking inside of Diablo Immortal thread because we are all hyped for the game. Come on through, especially after you hear about PvP in tomorrow's video. You will want to be in my guild. We have 150 slots. One of them is for you, but you have to be in the Discord, be part of the family. Come on through. We're out for today. Make sure you come back tomorrow for that video. And be good.